showtime, fellas. We up.
What's that?
How you gentlemen doing tonight? I said, we're live. We're up. We're in here.
You know, this is the one thing that makes me look forward to Mondays.
Shout out to Mondays. Hey, I'm always ready to get my week cracking. I'm a busy man.
Yeah, I am too, man.
That's part of being a man is we're constantly busy. We constantly have to adjust our priorities, so to say, on a moment's notice, you know, because as a man, you got to be prepared for anything at any time. So I get it. We're busy. And you know, the first thing I tell young men is if you want to be successful, you're ready to sacrifice some sleep. You're not always going to be well rested. You better get used to it, man. So, hey, look, I just want to thank you, gentlemen, for taking your time out tonight and being able to get this knowledge out to these people who really need it. Now, we're doing a red pill review tonight, and shout out to TK. He brought us some clips by Ricky Red Pill, and we're going to break them down. Hey, but first, man, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. So let me get the screen first. My name is William. Let me welcome you to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, and I got a disclosure that I make at every show that we do. Full disclosure, I'm my own man. I'm not part of the manosphere. I'm not with any different colored pills, including the red pill. I'm not with any movements. I'm not some pickup artist. Look, bro, I go as far as to say that I'm not even a dating coach. So you're probably wondering why I do this. Hey, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Well, I do have extensive experience with women, so I know firsthand most of you fellas have no idea what you're even up against. And I also know that woman you're going to marry, have kids with, that's the biggest decision you're going to make in your entire life. So you better not mess it up. Now, we teach you here how to have a vetting process, we teach you all kinds of stuff about masculinity. Hey, let me get a shout out to the men on the panel. JC, Johnny Dumbbell, why don't you tell everybody about yourself this evening?
How's it going, guys? I'm Johnny Dumbbell, aka JC. I'm actually a personal trainer and nutrition coach out here in Pittsburgh. What I'm most noted for, at least on this podcast, is I am a recovering simp. You know, I was one of those guys who, you know, made all the right decisions for all the wrong reasons, and that usually ends up coming back and biting you in the ass. So the advice that I dispense to young men is not because I'm so knowledgeable or I was just such a natural guru at all this kind of stuff. No. I know about the stuff because I screwed up enough to be able to tell you what I learned from the experience. And young men, technology advances. Unfortunately, behavior doesn't.
Well put, Johnny. TK, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody watching this.
What's up? I'm TK. I'm in West Virginia. I'm with that pill, but not the red or blue one. Y'all have a good one tonight.
All right. Appreciate it, TK. All right, gentlemen. So I don't know. You know, I just appreciate all the time you guys put into being here and how consistent you guys are, how we always make this happen every week, how we're cutting up clips. We're sharing our YouTubes. We're sharing our social. We're sharing our experience with these young men. And, you know, we want to see you guys do better. Now, this is a little bit triggering for me tonight because I'm actually really against the red pill. So I think this is going to make this podcast here a little more
to the red side.
Well, I got to say this for the dude, man. He's a little bit more in our direction of opinion of things. I think that he just kind of named himself that, you know, as a fuck around kind of thing. Because he's not he sees things from our point of view a good bit.
Okay, well, look, I haven't watched the clip. I want to react to it organically, but I did check out Ricky Red Pill a little bit. I noticed he has 120,000 subscribers and has less than 40 videos up on his channel. So I'm saying right now, my name himself, Ricky Red Pill. He's trying to attract subscribers from the Red Pill community who are going to hit that subscribe button without really listening to the message, just based on his name.
I drink that Kool-Aid. That's my color of Kool-Aid right there, boy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Let's get going with TK brought us 2 clips to review tonight. The first one is cheating on pretty girls. So this is a YouTube short. How I want to do this is I want to run it through the whole clip, and then we'll run it back and kind of break it down. But we're going to let Ricky Red Pill here talk about why these red pill guys are cheating on pretty girls, because I don't advocate cheating on women at all. So this is going to be interesting tonight. Let's run it.
We should all do it. I'm kidding.
I always see quotes on Twitter talking about why do men cheat on the prettiest girls? And it's because they are insecure.
The first reason is Ricorian delusion. Pretty women shoot for the top guys, big status, big money, big looks. Although she's a 10, men don't stop at 10. Men can go up to 50, 100, 200, earning himself many women that are 10s. Reason number 2 is pretty privilege. Women actually go into the relationship using their beauty and sexual access as leverage. And men need respect to feel loved, submission from his woman. They overlook that and just use the pretty as what they bring to the table. Reason number 3 is that you may just be for the streets. A lot of women are involved in social media and dating apps where other men have access to you. Means that you're in the streets. Get off social media. You don't need it. And reason number 4 is he's probably too young. The male of our species does not become a full man until well after 25 years old. It's under 28, especially under 25, probably going to cheat on you.
Wow, that was so hard to sit through. I can't believe I sat through that thing quietly. All right, let's run this back because I got a lot to say about this.
I always see quotes on Twitter talking about why do men cheat on the prettiest girls? And it's because they are insecure.
No, that's not why men cheat on women. Men don't cheat on women because they're insecure. Men cheat on women because they're thirsty, needy, and desperate, and some low-hanging fruit comes along that's easy to smash, who's not going to require much from them but some D, so they jump on that because they're so thirsty and needy and desperate. Johnny, you got something you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is probably true for the men who are considered what they call low value. I know you don't like that term. But in this particular situation, I know I just watched you shift in your seat. I know. It's like, no, but the thing of it is that when you, like, for example, if you don't have money and status and you're going to cheat on your girl, well, you better get the fuck away with it. Because if you don't, you're already out on your ass, especially if you're living with her, especially if her name's on the lease. Guys, you've been through this. I don't know about you specifically. I haven't, thank God. But a lot of guys have been through this, and look, that's where you shoot yourselves in the foot. But when you're that guy who has a couple of cars, a 3-bedroom house, all the fixings, if you look at the women that are actually with these men that are high wealth, high status, that are still cheating on them, a lot of them are okay with it. And it's crazy how you can actually see them being okay with it, because he's only sharing the sexual aspect of what he brings to a relationship with another woman. But the main resource that he provides for the woman that he's committed to, ergo, paying the bills, having the house in his name, having the cars and all this other stuff, because he does all of those things for her, and he's only giving sex to the other girl, you would not believe how many stories I've heard in this city alone about the wealthy wives of wealthy men who were okay with it just being sex because, hey, her bills stay paid.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, man. Look at it this way: if a guy has wealth, cars, a beautiful house, he's got a good career, and he's got a smoking hot woman who's everything that he needs, and he goes out and cheats on her with a chick that he thinks is hotter than her, maybe he's got better sexual chemistry with that girl right then and there. Who the fuck knows what it is, what the reason is? But I don't understand how that dude is thirsty. I mean, the motherfucker already got everything he wants.
And
You know what I mean?
understand,
So
I'm not condoning the behavior at all. I'm just saying that
no, me neither. I'm
behind it.
no, yeah.
He's being thirsty because he's not being a man at all. Here's the thing, dog. Everybody wants to be a man until it's time to be one. There's no middle ground. You're either a man or you're not. So if you're out here doing bitch ass shit like cheating on women, then you're not a man. You could be open and honest with those women and say, hey, this is the deal. I'm going to see other women from time to time. That doesn't necessarily mean I have a problem with you. But the fact that they're not being open and honest and they're cheating tells me they're not a man. So I can't have any respect for them, dog.
Yeah, I see it from that point of view.
Because in that situation, he is actually being deceitful in order to get access to the panties.
That's what's making
and that is not masculine. I'm sorry, that is not an alpha trait. Being able to manipulate someone into having sex with you is not an alpha trait. That is a beta trait. Walking into a room, having that charisma, having that natural presence, having that, just giving people that feeling as you walk through the door that, wow, a force just walked in here. You know, having that about you, that atmosphere. Young men, pay attention to this, write this down, because the younger you learn this, the better off you'll be. I'm glad you look great in a tank top. I'm glad that you are as smart as you are, whatever it is that attracts women. But remember, if you don't have that presence, her biology doesn't get pumping.
Okay,
Don't forget,
now
it's still mammals.
Now, I want to go back to what he said about guys cheating because they're insecure. Or maybe, I don't even think it was him. I think it was the woman that said that. I had to run this clip back. But I got to tell you, a lot of guys cheat because they just have the opportunity to do so, and they do it with low-hanging fruit. And so it makes these women who only bring their looks to the table question what is going on when some ugly little bitch who can't even cook, he's out cheating with her. I just have so many problems with this because I don't advocate cheating on women at all. You can be honest with them and let them know that you are loved by many and that, you know, a lot of women would like your time. And I think a lot of guys, what they do is of monogamy with women in order to gain access to sex.
Right.
So, and when anytime you do that, you're not being genuine. You're not being. You're being disingenuous. So that's going to come across as thirsty at some point.
Right, but I'll say this: let any man on this panel without sin cast the first stone. Now I know never one of us hasn't probably done some shady ass shit like that in our past. But fellas, the thing is, it's all about what you do with those mistakes, how you correct them, and how you form yourself later on in life. You know, if you keep going on making those same bitch ass mistakes, then you're a bitch ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you make those mistakes and you turn, you know, you correct yourself, man, you turn around how you're treating women, then you got something to offer.
Yeah, my dad used to say, if you're lost in the forest and you see the same tree twice, you're still lost.
Well, you know, there was something he said later in the clip. I'm glad you mentioned your dad, Johnny, because he mentioned later in the clip that these young guys don't grow up till they're 25, they're 28. Would that have been acceptable behavior to your father if you were still 26, 27 years old and you weren't a man yet?
Man, I was 27. No, I was 28 when I got married. And I had already been living on my own for about 5 or 6 years by then.
Thank you. All right, let's get back to this clip because I got a lot to say about this shit.
Not that getting married was smart. I'm just
First reason is Rocorian delusion. Pretty women shoot for the top guys, big status, big money, big looks.
Okay. The top. Okay, I don't. Let me run that back just one more time.
The first reason is Rocorian delusion. Pretty women shoot for the top guys, big status, big money, big looks. Although she's a 10.
Big money, big status, big looks. I don't have any of that stuff. I don't have big money. I don't have big status. I don't have big looks. And I can't tell you how easy it is to pull women and be open and honest with them that I have other women, in and out of my life from time to time.
So what you're saying is that your smoothness and your ability to talk to them would make you respectable in their eyes, right? So to those individual women, you would hold high status, huh?
Yeah, I don't hold any
Look,
status.
we're not talking about currency here. We're talking about sexual market value that does not have to have anything to do with wealth. We are talking about, and I hate to call it market value. Actually, let's just put it.
You might as well. That's what it is.
It's an appeal factor, yes. But the thing of it is that in your case, it doesn't have to center around looks. It doesn't have to center around wealth. And then oftentimes, thank God, because for most of us, it doesn't. But the thing of it is that status is not just about socioeconomy. Status is not just about where you are in the tax bracket. Status in her mind is how do I value the idea of having sex with this guy? How do I think of the idea of having sex with this guy? The thing of it is if you get her biology going, that gives you value and status, at least in the sexual realm of things. And hey, if you just smash it, that's okay.
Right. Okay, listen. What the chick is saying, she's asking why how a super hot chick can get cheated on by a guy because she's dating him and she's hot. That's what the girl's asking. Okay, how can I get cheated on because I'm as hot as I am? That's what the chick's asking. Okay, he's giving reasons like, hey, look, this is what these girls are looking for. You know what I mean? They think they're already at the top of the food chain, so there's no way that they can get cheated on, and these are the reasons why they do from these guys. You know what I mean? So I understand what the dude's saying. I mean.
Sure.
Man, there are so many reasons a woman can get cheated on regardless of her looks or how she perceives her looks. And I think most of it comes down to the kind of dude that she's with. Is he a man or not? Does he stand on business or not? Is he weak and flexible and compromising in his relationship? Or is he, you got to understand, women, they don't like to be told no. They really don't, dog. But they need to be with a man who can tell them no, because they need a man who can tell other women no.
Yep. And it's like we've talked about before. The reason she wants to know that a man is going to tell other women no is because she's going to want a man that is wanted. Why? Because it's simple. Women don't want men that women don't want.
Well, I can't argue with that, but I can't argue with the rest of this clip. So let's keep going here.
And men don't stop at 10. Men can go up to 50, 100, 200, earning himself many women that are 10s. Reason number 2 is pretty privilege. Women.
Yeah, I think he's touching on the idea that it is much more difficult for a man to just walk into a bar and be able to find a girl that's willing to bang him right there on the spot. You know, now here's kind of the comparison that I think he's not making. He's not really elaborating too much on this. But here's my thing. When you look at what's easy for men to do, what's easy for women to do, let's say you saw a construction crew and there's this 125-pound, 5'3" girl, and she's swinging that sledgehammer just as good as those 220-pound guys next to her. Wouldn't you think, holy crap, that's amazing. She's doing the same work these guys are doing, and she's half their size. That's impressive, right? Because it's not easy for somebody of her stature or ability to do. Now, flip that over to guys. Why do we get congratulated when we were able to pull the girls? Because it's not something that's supposed to be easy for men to do. We're not supposed to be the selective ones. We could theoretically impregnate hundreds of women in the course of a year, where a woman can only really get pregnant theoretically once. Obviously, they're more selective, and thus it would be much more difficult for us. Now, complicate that further with the concept of social media and the fact that her options are going to always outweigh yours.
There is no option, Johnny. Look, her options are losers and suckers and simps and guys desperate for attention.
And guys who still get their biology going.
And what they do is they will send them running back to you. Look,
if there's ever any back to me, then she had more respect for him than she had for me in the first place.
Johnny, you telling me you don't release them back into the wild sometimes?
No,
No?
no. My
Okay.
thing is this. Here's the thing that always drove me crazy. Whenever you see somebody stupid embroidery say something like, "When you love something, let it go, and if it comes back, it was yours, and if it didn't, it was never meant to be." First of all, if you love something and you're letting it go, it's because it wants to go in the first place, and it ain't going to do something it doesn't want to do. You've already lost it. Move on.
So what I run into, Johnny, is sometimes I get women and what they don't want to deal with the fact that I have other women in my life. And hey, shout out to them, whatever works for them. So and I have to tell them that, hey, I understand how you feel, but I also understand that feelings change. And if your feelings change about me, you know where to find me. And you know what happens? They want to spin the block after they get released back into the wild and find all these suckers and simps and losers and
and that's all fine and good. And if she's going to be your occasional booty call, if she's going to be your occasional booty call and you're not going to actually get committed, that's one thing. But here's the problem: young men, don't go thinking that that's okay. Because remember, we are stupid in our 20s. When you think you're just going to go back and hook up with her here and there and this and that, this is how you wind up in those on again, off again relationships. And again, every one of this, Bill, TK, we've all kept going back to that same girl. It never ends well, especially when you get emotional about it.
Never. And nothing ever works out.
Like I say, if you want to hook up with an ex just to hook up with her, go ahead, whatever, do your own thing, as long as neither one of us is cheating. But here's my thing. If you start catching feelings, it's already too late. Don't be doing that. Don't be going back and forth like that.
Now, Johnny, I'm a big advocate for not recycling women.
Yeah, dude, nothing ever works the second time around, man.
So it really depends on how it's split. If you split up and there's some mutual respect and admiration,
that's amicable, sure.
It's okay. It's different if you have to dismiss them. Okay, like I'm not the right guy for you. This ain't working out. So it kind of depends. Like, if you have to dismiss them for being disrespectful, then I just Thanos snapped her out of existence. She no longer exists in my mind. There's no way to spin the block. But sometimes women in their emotions and their feelings, they don't want to put up with your shit no more. So they're like, I'm out. And hey, cool. If your feelings change, you know where to find me. But that's in the circumstances where they haven't done anything disrespectful, where it's nothing but respect and admiration there, then I would, under those circumstances, she can come back into my life. And she'll have to make it up to me. She's doing some cooking and sucking and all kind of stuff, but hey, that's
break. But, and that's the thing is that as pleasant as that sounds, those types of breakups are pretty rare.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great if everybody could be amicable and grown up about it, but let's face it, we have PFAs for a reason.
Look, I don't make this up, dog. This is really my life. Look, I had somebody I matched with recently on Bumble. We do the Bumble shows on Thursday, and we break down the women's dating profiles because we want men to learn the subtleties and nuances to the things women say. And we want to show you guys that the things they say publicly, that's not typically what they respond to. So we really get into the dating profiles and break them down. And I swipe on some of them. And I match with some of them. And I want to tell you guys, look, I had this woman who I had set up 3 different dates with. And I had to cancel each date for different reasons. Okay. So now this woman's like wondering what she did wrong. And I had to explain to her, look, you didn't do anything wrong. You've been nice and respectful to me. And I just don't have time to be anything more than some dick on the side. I can't date you like you're looking for. I know you're looking for a relationship. And I'm just going to be a side piece right now for you. So, hey, take care. You know what she said? Cool. Be that side piece. I'm fine with it. I mean, dog, this is my life, so I don't understand.
And that's it. You set the boundaries, and you made sure you knew where those boundaries lay. Nothing wrong with that. You can keep like that for as long as you want.
Exactly. All right, let's keep going here. He's got some more stuff I disagree with.
Actually go into the relationship using their beauty and sexual access as leverage. And men
Okay, so first of
In
all,
other words, they're taking advantage of this
that's the
scarcity
dude's
mindset.
fault for letting them get away with that shit. That's the man's fault for not leading the relationship and letting them use their beauty and leverage them sexually.
Yeah, but Bill, here's the thing you got to understand. There are a lot of liberties that are being taken on, against men by the modern woman. And frankly, most of them are our fault. Most of them are our unwillingness to stand up for ourselves. Most of it is our unwillingness to, because we have, and this is what I think he's talking about when he talks about leveraging her attractiveness and leveraging her sexuality, is that she is already going to not only assume that you have a scarcity mindset, but she is going to make sure that she reinforces that scarcity mindset through doing those kinds of things. Because what she is basically saying is, I'm too pretty to be with you, but luckily for you, I'm with you anyway. And you should be glad for that, because if I broke up with you, you'd have to go back to banging fat girls, and no one else looks as good as me will ever want you again. Now, is she going to say that to him 99 times out of 100? No. But the thing of it is that she doesn't have to. Remember, this is an action-oriented behavior. This is an action-oriented behavioral pattern that you're going to see, and you're going to have to bottom line what those actions are, and you're going to bottom line what they actually mean. Young men, get this in your head. Etch it in stone if you have to, above your headboard or whatever. But remember, you have to remember to ask yourself, does a woman who respects me do this, or would she do that? Does a woman who cares about me and respects me treat me the way I'm currently being treated? Does she say the things that she says to me? Or, you have to be able to ask yourself those questions. And remember, shut out the noise, shut out the gaslighting. The actions are always going to tell on them. You just got to pay attention.
A lot of times, look, a lot of times too, man, it's because the guy is just as shallow as the female is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's why those kind of relationships end up,
toxic as hell too.
Yeah. Sorry, Bill. Go ahead, bro.
No, it's all right. Let's keep going here. Well, I did have a question for Johnny. You always talk about how vital it is to establish boundaries right from the very beginning, like right off rip. So if you're being a man about your relationship and you're establishing those boundaries right off rip, is there even a possibility for her to be able to use her beauty and sex as leverage against you?
If you're not strong, yes.
Even if you've set these boundaries. Well, first of all, for you to even set the boundaries, it takes a certain amount of strength. You have to be willing to.
But you better mean her.
No matter how good she looks naked. Okay?
You better be. You got to be hardcore about it.
Well, you should be. It's called being a man. If you're not willing to dismiss any woman from your life in a moment's notice, are you really a man? Can you even respect yourself? All right, let's keep going here.
men need respect to feel loved, submission from his.
Okay. Maybe you can help me understand this. Why the hell do I need to feel love from a woman when I love myself more than some bitch could ever love me?
That's not what he's saying. He's saying that men need respect in order to feel like they're actually loved from a woman. Like if a woman doesn't have any respect for you, then what he's saying is that how can she love you? She can't. That's what you're saying.
Remember that conversation we had years ago?
Why is she in your life if she doesn't respect you, dog? Why don't you respect yourself? I don't need a woman to love me. I need a woman to respect me, man. I love myself. I
Yeah,
love
but
me.
not everybody goes into a relationship knowing everything right off the fucking bat.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to get to know people and feel things out. And in that period, there are things that can happen that just fucking happen. You know what I mean? I don't care how much of a man you are. You know what I mean? Some shit that that comes to light before other things come to light. You know.
But
I mean, and the male version of what she's describing about why pretty girls get cheated on, in a nutshell, like TK saying is, good men get cheated on too. Now, we're not even talking handsome men. We're talking good men who are doing all the right things, making the right decisions. Those guys get cheated on too, because the one mistake they make is not properly vetting from the very beginning and setting those boundaries.
Yeah.
So TK, my big problem here is that the way he is saying this, is it sounds like men need women to love them, which
No, I don't think that's what he's saying.
I don't think
You gotta also think of the topic of their conversation is her question. How can a guy cheat on me when I'm as pretty as I am?
Yeah.
That's the question he's answering here. You know what I mean? So he's going off of that. I mean, obviously, I don't think everything he's saying applies to, everything that we're talking about. But I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I don't think he's hitting the nail on the head with everything, but I think when it comes to her topic of question, what she's asking him, I mean, I think there's a lot of truth in what he's saying.
all right.
Women, they overlook that and just use the pretty as what they bring to the table. Reason number 3 is that you may just be for the streets. A lot of women are involved in social media and dating apps where other men have access to you.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, the pretty privilege thing does kind of, that is something that does kind of resonate because, again, remember, these are girls who are being told their entire life that they're beautiful, multiple times a day. This is something that happens so often to them that they don't even notice it anymore. But like I said last podcast, I still remember a compliment I got on a city bus 6 years ago about my shirt. Because guys don't get random compliments from women, normally. Right. Guys, I mean, a girl who looks half as good as that girl, she could be working that walking down the street. And I mean, especially in downtown Pittsburgh, she's gonna get, guys saying, "Hey, hi, you look so good." And the thing of it is that it really is only going to feed her ego. She thinks he's attractive at the same time, number one. But number 2, it's a drop in the bucket. You're not even the first person to tell her she's beautiful today. Come on, man.
Right.
And she knows it. And that's just it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is at that point, she understands that there are numerous, and I mean vastly numerous options open to her. And so this is where she's going to, and again, this isn't even intentional. They're just wired this way. Get into his head and make him understand, I should say, that he can't do better than her. She has to not only give him that scarcity mindset if he doesn't already have it, but she's going to have to reinforce that scarcity mindset. And that's just something that she's probably doing subconsciously. It's just a survival tactic for them.
I just can't get behind women having a better option than me. Say women have more options. Johnny, there is no better option than me. I'm telling you.
Okay, but Bill, this isn't an advice panel for you. This is an advice panel for young men who are going to have to be able to understand that they have to be able to hold some sort of value, in this marketplace called dating, if they expect to, aspire to what they want instead of settle for what they can get.
Point taken.
But it can get the low-hanging fruit.
All right, let's see what else he has to say to this woman here.
Means that you're in the streets. Get off social media. You don't need it. And reason number 4 is he's probably too young.
Now, I just want to know, do any of you guys really care if the women that you have in your life are on social media?
My thing is this: if you're putting up thirst trap photos and you're in a relationship with me, then I'm already being, my red flags are already being, put up because I'm seeing that you need attention from more than just me.
And that's what he's talking about.
And here's the thing: if that's what you need, that's okay. But my thing is this: I established that boundary myself from the very beginning. If you are that girl that likes to post thirst traps and you love to get those comments and attention from men, hey, go ahead, girl, man. I mean, look, if you can get that kind of attention, hell, if you can get some guys' advice and things, you think I wouldn't do it if I could? But here's the thing, if that's what you need, if you need that attention from multiple men, and if you need that dopamine, shower every day, that's okay with me. But we're gonna go ahead and keep our level of commitment right where it is. We get together every couple weekends and get it on, and that's it. We're not going to move beyond that if that's going to be the way you want to go. You want to clean that up and get into a better commitment? Show me.
No.
But if not, hey, no hard feelings, man. You're just not for me. I'm not for you. You're for the streets, and I'm for looking around.
That doesn't say she's for the streets to me. Okay, I've
So needing
dated
attention
a
from,
lot of very
needing attention
attractive
from
women.
multiple men, knowing damn well what she's doing, posting pictures just like that.
You gotta understand.
You're telling me that
Yeah,
would
but-
be okay.
See, where Bill and I come from, being in the streets is a whole different meaning.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. No. I'm not talking.
Well,
about
I mean, I'm not talking about prostitution. We're just talking about being in the streets is being in the streets. You know what I mean? That's out running around, fucking around on, you know what I mean? Your man, that's being in the streets, in my opinion.
I see.
We'll use the red pill definition for the streets for our purposes here. But my point is, okay, women, you got to understand, some of them are really worried about hitting that wall.
Mhm.
Okay. We talk about this, men hitting that wall, women hitting that wall, and women know that it's coming. So they want to take a bunch of attractive pictures of themselves when they're feeling sexy so that they can go back one day and look at how hot they used to be, dog. I'm telling you, it's not always.
So they can't just take the picture and keep it. They have to post it. Number one. Number two, my other
I've seen
question is
both.
this. My other question
That's a
is
good point.
my big thing is this. If she was in a relationship that she felt secure and healthy and happy in, and she actually respected the guy she's with, does she need to get the attention from other men, or is the attention from the guy that she chose to commit solely to enough? Because if the answer is no, once again, hey, like I said, we can hook up every once in a while, but that'll be as far as we go. No hard feelings.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, JC, to an extent.
I'm a little bit on the other side of the fence of that, because I know some women, especially, look, dog, some sexy little women I mess with, they love to post pictures of themselves because they
Yeah, but
wanna
you're not committed to them.
influence. And you're right. I'm not. But
And I wouldn't be either. You're doing exactly what I'm
Different
telling you.
situation, right?
No, I know
Shaking this
that
table.
the guys that make those comments on their photos are not the kind of guy that she's attracted to.
That's not
So
the
it
point.
doesn't matter how many people tell her she's beautiful,
It
gorgeous,
kind of does.
marry me, because like some of them losers like actually propose to women in the comment section and in DM.
Yeah, those guys at best are probably
Nothing on
booty
me.
calls.
You don't know how to hug her, grab her hand, and spin her around in a little 360 and make a fuss about her outfit when he meets her, dog. It's just all right. Let me get back here to cheating on pretty women, because we're getting off topic. That happens a lot with me. I apologize.
No, the male of our species does not become a full man until well after 25 years old. It's under 28, especially under 25, probably going to cheat on you.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they don't become men at all. They just stay little boys, man.
Yeah, I was a good 27 or 28 for when it happened for me. Yeah.
Well, you'll hear women tell each other, see how he treats his mom. Check out his relationship with his mom. That'll tell you if he's a good guy or not. No. All that's going to tell you is if he's easily manipulated and influenced. Find out if he's got a good relationship with his father. Because if his father taught him how to be a man, he's not going to be out there doing bitch ass shit at 25, at 28, So don't worry so much about. And I know, like I said, I know why women do it, because they want men that are easily controlled and easily influenced. So they want to know about the relationship he had with his mother. But I'm telling you, ladies, if you want to know if he's a real man or not, find out about the relationship he had with his father. How much of an influence his father is on his life today.
No. That's some good advice right there, man.
Yeah.
Now we got another clip here from Ricky Red Pill. Give me just a second. I'll get it pulled up. Now this one's called Ricky Red Pill Explains How Everyone Got Confused. So I don't know. TK, I think you've seen it.
Then how did everyone get so confused?
Everyone got confused because we kept mixing the games. You're at your kid. Half the court is taken, but now they're confused because two games are intersecting, right? Take a tennis match and put a.
You guys hear that? All right. I don't know if I had some lag. Let me keep going.
I can
piece
now.
of
It
that
was
on
like
the other end of the basketball court. Now
All right. I'll start it over.
Did everyone get so confused?
everyone got confused because we kept mixing the games. You're at your kid's basketball game, and all of a sudden, half the court is taken up by a football game. The games are merged. They know the game they're playing, but now they're confused because two games are intersecting, right? Take a tennis match and put a piece of that on the other end of the basketball court. Now you have three games going on at once. The games can hardly go on. The players start not to know where to go. The intersecting games. We've mixed the marriage game with the prostitute game, the masculine man game with the non-masculine man game, the career woman game with the housewife game, the social media game with the social interaction game, the pimp game with the simp game, the broke game with the rich game. Due to feminism and bullshit political correctness, we've now created a bunch of games and mixed them all together. Who wouldn't be fucking confused right now? What was we thinking?
Wow. And Ricky,
Yeah.
I fucking agree with that 100%, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing of it is, you know,
I think that describes a lot of the reason for the male youth being the way that they are today. And the whole reason for us having to be on this panel right now. I think that's exactly right.
these young men are being told, well, you don't have to be too masculine because that's toxic masculinity. And so they grow up trying not to be too toxically masculine, and they keep losing girls to the guys who they're told were toxically masculine. The thing of it is that it seems like nowadays, anytime that you set boundaries and you stick to them and you stick to your word and you refuse to, you know, lay down for somebody, you know, who's going to try to browbeat you, whether they're using their beauty or sex appeal or whatever,
You're a show.
Yeah, you're suddenly toxically masculine because you refuse to put up with that kind of stuff, and you're not just going, "Oh, hey, honey, hey, you're a woman, and I'm just lucky that you even like me." So yeah, whatever you say. No, I mean that's how a lot of us lived when we were younger. You know, thank God we got the internet and social media now to help us kind of learn from others. Shit, we didn't have that. Meanwhile, all that time they had Cosmopolitan. You know what I'm saying? They had all their magazines that, and I swear to you, there were columns that would explain this is how you manipulate him. This is how you make him whine. This is how you make him feel bad. This is how you mold him. I've seen articles, several of them, and these were in the old paper magazines saying how to mold him to the way you want him and how to make him do what you
Oh
want.
yeah, I remember that. Esquire magazine, what you call it, the other one, yeah. But you look, man. It's plus it all has to do with young guys also being conditioned and being brought up in a toxic household. You know what I mean? Of too much feminism, or maybe sometimes too much masculinity, which I mean, I've never thought that was a bad thing myself. You know, I turned out all right. But I mean, a lot of times, man, you know, what do you do when a whole entire population of youth males is being raised up with two mothers, or you know,
they're being fed the illusion
mom
of
who wants
equality.
to turn them into a girl, or whatever the case may be? I mean, yeah, that's why there's some fucked up male youth, of course, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and they're being fed the delusion of equality, where, you know, the thing of it is everybody's afraid to say we're not equal because that automatically equates in their minds to, well, one's better than the other. No, we're just not the same.
Yeah.
We don't have the same needs, and we don't provide the same resources.
Yeah.
Where to start with this? All right, I got to tell you guys, I think Red Pill Ricky here is pandering for some views a little bit on this.
Yeah, so
No, I'm sure he is.
I have a real simple solution to all of this. That's what we talk about all the time. You're either a man or you're not. So if you're a man, you're not confused about this game or that game. Your standards and your principles lead your life, not outside influences, not society, not views for YouTube. So I just have a fundamental problem thinking that anybody has the ability to move me off of my square. I'm a man. I make my own decisions and I move how I want. Now,
Right.
John,
Listen. What would you do if you weren't conditioned as a boy to turn into a man, and you were conditioned as a boy to turn into a little bitch? You see what I'm saying? A boy can't just turn into a man. They have to be conditioned into a man by another man. You know what I mean? You either sink or you swim in a lot of aspects, but still you have to have that guidance from another man. And if you don't have that, you can't. How do you expect someone to sack up and take responsibility and start being a man when they've never been conditioned to be a man? You know what I mean?
Which is why I like to use the phrase toxic lack of masculinity. I hate it when they start talking about toxic masculinity on the internet, because masculinity isn't toxic, dog. Masculinity is full of leadership and always knowing what to do and standing on your principles and having a standard for how you live your life.
The people who are what do you call it? But I don't know what you think, but shit. Never mind. Go ahead. I forgot the word I'm trying to think of. You guys go ahead. I'll think of it in a second.
Dude, I do that at least twice every show.
Oh, okay. The people who are afraid of masculinity, those are the people who are toxic. That's what's toxic. The people who claim that masculinity is toxic because they're intimidated by masculinity. That's what's really toxic.
You'll never get some feminists to admit that.
No.
Well, no, of course not.
All right, let's see what else he has to say here. Let's go through this one more time.
Then how did everyone get so confused?
Everyone got confused because we kept mixing the games. You're at your kid's basketball game, and all of a sudden, half the court is taken up by a football game. The games are merged. They know the game they're playing, but now they're confused because two games are intersecting, right? Take a tennis match and put a piece of that on the other end of the basketball court. Now you have three games going on at once. The games can hardly go on. The players start not to know where to go. You're intersecting games. We've mixed the marriage game with the prostitute game, the masculine man game with the non-masculine man game.
Now, I don't know what the non-masculine man game is.
In other words, the guys that want to be the man in a relationship, but they don't want to be too controlling, so they don't stand up for themselves, they don't assert boundaries.
Right.
These are the guys who mold themselves to fit the girl instead of vetting the girl to fit his life. And so instead, these guys end up finding a girl who graces him with a relationship, and now he's trying to kind of keep on his toes to keep her interested. And it's always going to require more and more as time goes on. And the thing of it is if she ever respects him at all, it's going to be in the very, very beginning. That will dwindle as you go. Those are the kinds of guys he's talking about here. Those are the guys who don't set the boundary. If you don't like your girl, let's say you don't like your girl going to bars and clubs. You don't set that boundary at first. You mold yourself to meet her so she'll date you. Now, 6 months in, she's about to go to a girls' night. You're uncomfortable as all hell. What are you going to do? Tell her not to go? Too late, man. You missed that chance. You missed that chance to set the boundary.
That's the non-masculine man game. Yeah.
Well,
And
even
if you do control her or convince her not to go, you still went bait on that.
these non-masculine males, are these the dudes that are out here cheating on these pretty women because these women are now leveraging their beauty and sex against them, so now they go out looking for low-hanging fruit?
I didn't catch that
No,
last part.
yes. No, you didn't catch that part? All right, let's keep going.
No, I didn't hear what you said at the end.
So I was just wondering that if these non-masculine man game attendees, I don't even know what you want to call these poor suckers. These are the same people that are letting women beauty and
Oh, yeah.
leverage them for sex. Now they're put in a situation where they're going after low-hanging fruit because that beautiful woman doesn't want to give them access to sex because of the whole non-masculine man game.
And it depends on how far she wants to play that game with him. If there's a resource she keeps getting from him, yeah, she might stretch it out. You know, every 2 or 3 weeks, she might give him the old starfish treatment, lay back and let him do his thing.
Oh man, that's horrible.
Look,
The
I'm not
career
saying it's
woman
right. I'm
game
just saying
with the
it's-
housewife game, the social media game with the social interaction game, the pimp game with the simp game, the broke game with the roots game. Due to feminism and bullshit political correctness, we've now created a bunch of games and mixed them all together. Who wouldn't be fucking confused right now? What was we thinking?
Wow. And Ricky,
Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's check out and shout out to Ricky Red Pill. Let's check out his channel here, gentlemen. Let's see if there's something else you want to review tonight before we wrap this up. 42 videos, 120 subscribers. All right, let's check out my popularity. Let's
Like
see.
120,000 or 120?
Yeah, I only saw a couple of his posts.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was going to say, shit, I got more than 120 followers.
No, he's got 120K subscribers off of 42 videos. And that's all you guys got to do if you want to get paid off of YouTube. Change your name to Red Pill TK, and you'll have 1,000 followers and be monetized by the end of the year.
It's so funny. This course I was taking for my renewal for my certification kind of touches on that, too.
Hey, listen, that would be a good experiment, man, for us to do on this panel, man.
Oh, I've got a
For
couple
one
of
of us to start a channel like that, man, with the name like that, man, and see the difference that it makes from a regular channel. You know what I mean?
Dude, when I'm done with this course, I'm going to know so many cool techniques we're going to use to kind of get our viewership boosted. So, but hey, guys, remember, if you like what you see in here, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. William the Conqueror, your mother's keeper, and Johnny Dumbbell.
All right, so how about we go with this one, gentlemen? Why are men great until they got to be great? Because, you know, I'm always talking about everybody wants to be a man until it's time to be one.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it can be, but there's a couple of schools of thought here. I think one of them is kind of the whole cram for the final sort of thing is, oh, there's this girl and she's going to expect this of me. Let's hurry up and get there. So now you're putting yourself in a situation where you're trying to do it in a hurry and you got to fake it till you make it. And it's not going to work. It never does. The reason
Here's
you got to be
another
great.
one.
The reason you got to be great, the time to be great is now for yourself. Believe me, they'll follow.
All right, here's another one I need to watch. Where is love, baby? Don't hurt me.
Studies have shown that Black women are the highest paid and the most educated. I myself graduated with my associate's degree at 18 and graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology. I live on my own, have my own car, make about $70,000 a year, and don't have any kids.
Rokorian Polar. Women look up for love, while men look down for love. Women are extremely attracted to men whose car is up, money is up, height is up, body count up, mental strength up, age up, masculinity up, and physical strength up. Men are extremely attracted to women whose car is down, money down, height down, body count down, age down, masculinity down, physical strength down. So all that bullshit you just rumbled off makes you extremely unattractive. So my question is, do you want to be the man or do you want to be the woman?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that breaks down to our statement earlier. Women don't want men that other women don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell, that's what he's saying. He's using a lot of material words that kind of hit the ear wrong. But essentially what he's saying is simply that women don't want to be with a man that women don't want.
Yeah.
and the most educated. I myself graduated with my associate's degree at 18 and graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology. I live on my
You
own.
got a BA
All right,
and
I
BS.
love how he makes the paper airplane and throws it, because all those accomplishments that she has bop, mean absolutely nothing to me.
Yep.
That's what they mean.
Yep.
So, because when it comes to women, and the women that I allow in my life, the most important thing is, are they following my lead? Or when I'm like, hey, let's go do this, are they immediately like, yeah, whatever you want to do, come on, I'm with it. That's what I'm worried about. I don't care about her accomplishments. That's not indicative of the experience that I'm going to have with her following my leadership.
But I think that's exactly what he's saying. She's trying to kind of make herself appealing by her accomplishments, because I think she thinks that in this age of equality, because she is attracted to that in a man, she automatically thinks that a man's attracted to that in a woman, and it's just simply not true. Once again, I'm not saying equality bad. I'm not saying inequality means one's better than the other. I'm saying we're just simply not the same. You being accomplished, you having those degrees, I think it's fantastic. Hey, go girl. But it doesn't bring anything that it doesn't add to my attraction to you at all.
Yeah, it don't mean shit to me.
It doesn't take it away either, but it doesn't add to it.
No.
And I think that's what she's doing there. She's trying to make herself seem more valuable than
More desirable, valuable, yeah.
If I was an employer, I would absolutely hire her without question.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not.
All right, let's see what else he has to say here.
Have my own car, make about $70,000 a year, and don't have any kids.
Rokorian Polar. Women look up for love, while men look down for love. Women are extremely attracted to men whose car is up, money is up, height is up, body count up, mental strength up, age up, masculinity up, and physical strength up. Men are.
All right, let me stop it right there. Gentlemen, any of you who are watching this, please do not concern yourself with the things that women do. It don't matter. Once you get to a certain level, the why isn't important anymore. The why they want to do this or the why they don't want to do that's not for you to concern yourself with. Don't concern yourself with what women do.
Do understand this though. When he says women date up and men date down, what he's actually saying is women look for men who lead and men look for women who let them lead.
Yeah.
It's simply that. Because all those things he's mentioning are just factors that add to her level of respect or need to follow you. What she brings is you being able to say, hey, look, this is the woman that I'm looking for, submissive, follows my lead, all those things. If those two things go together, hey, great. But again, that's women dating a man that she looks up to and respects. And it's a man looking down to a woman that he can lead.
All right, let me see what else he has.
Attracted to women whose car is down, money down, height down.
Man, see, stop the cap, Ricky. I tell you guys all the time not to be messing with broke bitches. Man, the only way y'all should be messing with the little clerks at the store is if you're getting something free out of the store. You should only be messing with the little bitch at the Taco Bell drive-thru if you're getting some extra food out of it, man. I don't understand.
And by the way, if it's this time of year and she's giving you some of those little Debbie Christmas tree things and you're not sharing them with us, we're going to be very upset with you all.
Yeah, boy. Like them snack cakes.
Man, those are great.
Bro, all right, let's keep going here. I don't want to get off track because I'll start telling women how much I need Christmas cookies next month. And I'm sure I would just get trays of them, the Buckeyes, and sugar cookies, and peanut butter cookies, and chocolate chip cookies. Dog, I can keep going. Where's them snickerdoodles?
Hey, listen.
Body count, down. Age, down. Masculinity, down. Physical strength, down. So all that bullshit you just rumbled off makes you extremely unattractive. So my question is, do you want to be the man or do you want to be the woman?
Hey, I gotta give Ricky a point there. He was pretty on point with that, with her question there.
Yeah.
All right, there's one more I wanted to do tonight, gentlemen. This clip about why are men great till they got to be great. Check this one out.
I've had with more people at 25 than most people have in their entire life.
And you don't feel any type of shame about that?
I'm not ashamed of having for money. Like, I love it.
What got you into this?
I was like, this is an easy, safe way for me to get laid, and I'm making money. This sounds like a really good idea.
What type of upbringing did you have?
I did grow up with 2 moms.
2 moms is pretty different.
I guess you could say that's different, but it's, I consider it normal.
So how's your relationship with your mothers, and do they approve of what you're doing?
She's very, very supportive.
And men that you date, how do they feel about this?
Very insecure. I mean, I have with huge, like big, like this, like this.
Maybe not keep touching me like that, all right? Now, is there anything you regret about doing what you do?
There's always going to be my holes on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's enough of that. All right, gentlemen. Overall, I understand that. Look, I understand that men need advice, that there's not a lot of solid places and not a lot of places that men can go to share their experiences. So they're looking for people who are more experienced, kind of give them that knowledge. So I don't want to knock Ricky Red Pill because he definitely has some good knowledge. He really does, because he's coming from a place where he wants to help young men. But
right, that's kind of the way I saw it too.
My problem is with some of the red pill ideology in general, because I think it prohibits young guys from becoming men. I haven't seen a red pill content creator yet that teaches men how to have standards, or like Johnny Dumbbell talks about the importance of establishing boundaries and teaching these young men.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that I learned from the red pill community, honestly.
All right, well, hey, like I said, I don't really watch a lot of the red pill stuff, because the stuff I do watch, it's sickening to me that this way, they're conditioned this way. I don't see.
I'm going to direct you to the
world
good stuff.
where we need to blame women for our problems.
I'll send you the good stuff.
Hey, Johnny, anything you want to review on the show, my man, please send the clip. We can break it down. We can talk about it. I got no problem with us spreading knowledge on here, man. If y'all want to put me on with something and teach me and learn, just know that I'm probably going to have some questions, and I may even argue a point or two.
Let's see if we have any comments.
Well, Jill said,
Jill.
good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Jill.
All right, before we wrap this up, is there anything else you guys want to say tonight about Red Pill Ricky, or anything we reviewed tonight?
Oh, man, I like some of what he's doing, man. I don't agree with everything he says, but I think, like you said, he has a lot of good knowledge that he can pass on to young men. So that's always a good thing, man.
Yeah, I think he when he used words like when you're up, up, down, down, he's adding all of those things together, and those are things that add up to the value that a woman's going to see in you, just like things are going to add up to the value that you were going to see in her. Maybe his choice of words wasn't the greatest, for our context, but at the same time, yeah, great points. It's to the point where we need to remind young men that no matter what they're trying to indoctrinate you with, you are allowed to have your own standards. You are allowed to have your own, checklist for what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And, every day you've got to make sure that that you're living by that code, that you're living by your own rules, that when you do hook up with somebody, that those boundaries are set so that she understands, not that you won't allow her to do something. Remember, you can't control a woman, nor should you even want to. But you have to let her know what those boundaries are, and that crossing those does constitute a forfeiture of that commitment. And if that's the case, I would even say remain calm, remain collected, and say, hey, that's okay. No hard feelings. We can stay the way we were. But you have to have standards for yourself, and for the love of God, stick to them.
Thank you, Johnny. All right.
As Mike Tomlin would say, the standard is the standard.
All right. I like that. The standard is the standard. You don't deviate from our standard. Once the standard has been created, it is a law. It is to govern your life. There's a reason that you created it. All right. I don't have too much I want to say about Ricky Red Pill that I've already said it. I appreciate him spreading some knowledge, but I do get a little bit of Kevin Samuel vibes from him because while he's talking Red Pill, I see him reviewing a lot of clips by women. So, he is trying to promote masculinity, but I would rather see him educate young men doing it and try to find used to review and react to. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to knock what he's doing. And look, the guy's successful. He's got 42 videos and 120K subscribers. So somebody on YouTube is feeling him.
Nice,
But-
great points.
I
think
just
he's delivering it. He's delivering it into a language, for people for people like us that we can understand. But I think that he might oversimplify sometimes, and he might overgeneralize others. But I mean, yeah, I think his overall mission statement is correct.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we'll be back Thursday night where we're going to break down some Bumble online dating profiles. I know how everybody likes that show. So I will see you Thursday night at 9:35. And, appreciate you guys tapping in tonight.
Yep.
All right,
Have a good
gentlemen,
one.
I'm wrapping this up, man. We're out. Everybody, thanks for watching.